one is the medial bone that we used to call as tibia, and one is the lateral bone that we used to call as the fibula. Now let's start with the tibia. It's again a long bone. It's having the upper end is consisting of the medial and the lateral condyle, and then the lower end you will see the medial part is expanded, that we used to call as the medial malleolus. So again, it's very important bony landmark that you can feel also. This is the medial malleolus of the tibia. Now tibia is having three border. One is the medial border, one is the anterior border, and one is the lateral border. Now anterior border is very important, and in the upper part of the anterior border you can see there is a tuberosity, and this tuberosity is called as the tibial tuberosity. Again, tibial tuberosity is very important. Why? Now you can see the patella here, and from the patella there is a ligament coming and is attached to the tibial tuberosity. So now the patella gives attachment to the quadriceps muscle, and you can see there is a quadriceps tendon, and then there is a ligament coming out from the lower part or the apex of the patella, and it is getting attached to the tibial tuberosity. So all the quadriceps muscles are attached to the patella, and through the patellar ligament it finally gets attached to the tibial tuberosity. So again, if tibial tuberosity is asked, so you have to identify the tibial tuberosity, you have to name it, and then you have to mention the muscles or the ligament which is attached here. So this is the muscles of the quadriceps femoris. So remember, tibial tuberosity is again important. Now coming to the different surfaces of the tibia, this is the medial surface which is subcutaneous, and in the upper part of the medial surface only three muscles are attached, rest are subcutaneous. There is attachment of no any other muscle, so it's almost subcutaneous. But in the upper part, so this is the medial surface, and in the upper part of the medial surface we have attachment of three very important muscles, and they are coming from the different compartment of the leg. So from anterior compartment we have sartorius, from medial compartment we have gracilis, and from posterior compartment we have semitendinosus. So these are the three muscles. You might be asked to name the muscle which are attached on the upper part of the shaft of the tibia, the medial surface. So three muscles are gracilis, sartorius, and semitendinosus. Okay. Now coming to, so this is the medial surface, this is the lateral surface, and then this is the posterior surface of the tibia. And on the posterior surface of the tibia you will see there is an oblique line, and this line is actually dividing the posterior surface into upper, this triangular area, and this lower part. So now this line is called soleus line, and it gives attachment to one of the muscles of the posterior compartment of the leg that we used to call as the soleus muscle. Now this upper smaller triangular part gives attachment to one very important muscle of the posterior compartment of the leg that we used to call as the popliteus muscle. Again, popliteus is very important muscle and you should know about it. It's coming from the lateral condyle of the femur, and then it is getting attached to the upper part of the shaft of the tibia here above the soleus line. So what is the function of this popliteus muscle? That is very important. That is the unlocking of the knee joint. That is the theoretical part, and you should know about it. But if you're asked which muscle is attached here, so this is the popliteus, and it's also forming the floor of the popliteal fossa here that we are going to see. This is the popliteal surface of the tibia, and it gives attachment to the popliteus muscle. Again, I'm repeating that popliteus is a very important muscle. Okay. Now coming to the fibula, again it is a fibula. Again it is a long bone. It is having the head, neck, and the lower end. The lower end again is expanded and it forms the lateral malleolus. So the lower end of the tibia is the medial malleolus, and the lower end of the fibula is the lateral malleolus. So it's important here. This is the lateral malleolus. Now the head of the top of the head of the fibula is called styloid process, and it gives attachment to the biceps femoris muscle. So again, it is important to know what muscle is get attached to the head of the fibula or the top of the fibula, that is called the styloid process. So what is the styloid process? Actually, this is the top of the head. This all is the head, but the top of the head is called the styloid process, and on the styloid process there is attachment of the biceps femoris. So this is about the bones of the leg. That is the tibia on the medial side and the fibula on the lateral side.